All right, we are live. Welcome to LtdSaasGuru live webinar. Today we'll be hosting a quick and very extensive chat with founders of Zintlr. They've come up with a very exciting product, which are very helpful for the sales folks predominantly. However, it is not just a lead generation product. There's much beyond that they have built, and this tool has got me excited. I'd love to invite three main founders of Zintlr. Let me introduce you Ujjwal, who is the CEO of the company. Let me also introduce Pranay, who is the COO of the company. And let me also add in Ravi, who is the CTO of Zintlr. Welcome, guys. Welcome on board. Very glad to have you on this initiative which is started on World International Podcast Day. I thought we'll have a different format altogether rather than having a very regular product walkthrough. It's great to interact with like-minded founders, SaaS enthusiasts, and product analogists. So over to Ujjwal, Pranay, and Ravi. Would love to understand more about you guys. It's going to be an open-ended platform, uh, not very stringent in terms of the conversation. We'll keep it very open-ended, and would love to get some introduction between you guys and help me understand how did you guys come together and what is Zintlr all about. Let's start with Zintlr. It's a pretty wacky name, right? What does Zintlr define, though?
Maybe let me take that up. Thanks, Suhas, for having us. It's a great honor. So we were trying to find the whole journey of finding a name for a company is always a little funny. I think we came up with another name. Then we tried finding the domain for it. We couldn't find it, and then we had to find some domains that actually existed, and then come up with some names. So Zintler basically means Z factor for intelligence and recommendation. So we don't want to be limited to something like sales outbound or marketing or be very limited in that kind of a space. We wanted to go beyond that and provide more intelligence so that someone could infer from those intelligence and create some actions out of it. That was the whole idea. So Z factor, because Z factor is something like it's a scientific term between ideal gas and real gas. It's the difference between ideal gas and real gas. It's the coefficient. So we want to bring that ideal sales to the real sales kind of a thing. So we want to
In a nutshell,
fix
it's
that.
built by Gen Z folks. Can I say that? I mean, I'm
Maybe.
the oldest guy in the group. I mean, in this post screens, I'm seeing built by Gen Zs for the future Gen Zs.
Yep, for sure.
Yeah, starting with Z. Yeah. Although we have some enterprise customers who are really old and loving the tool, but why not? I mean, for the future. So thank you for having us on the call, Suhas. I mean, it's really good to be here on International Podcast Day. If anyone is watching, I would like to congratulate them. Essentially, I'll just tell you a bit about our journey before we move forward, right? So, all of us were essentially engineers. Few years back, I mean, around 4 5 years back, while in college, we started IT services business. We started with absolute scratch. We had no money in the bank. We had no network who was willing to help us, and very little understanding about technology. Although these guys are very, very bright folks, and they come from very good background, and we have been friends for very long time, so we know each other for since school days. In fact, me and Ravi are closest friends since 16 17 years. There has not been a single day when we have not met. So we have had a lot of experiences together, so there's a very strong understanding, and we came together to start building. So our goal was to just take up challenging projects and just solve them. So our journey, while it started as engineers, we saw that there was a major challenge around growth. I mean, in engineering, it was very simple that you do say print hello world and hello world actually gets printed. It's not the same thing for growth. And when we ourselves tried to do growth, it was extremely tough. That's where we realized how big of a problem or how tough it is to do outbound While most people tell you outbound doesn't work, it took us a lot of time to figure out. We did so many experimentations, and we figured out that this works magically. You just need to do it right. So people who are not able to do it right are facing the problem, and then they talk about how it's not working. For the folks who are making it work are printing millions of dollars left, right, straight. Okay, and most businesses do. And there was one big problem that when I spoke to a lot of founders as well, most founders were very good engineers building excellent products. I think in 21st century, building product is not the biggest pain point. The bigger pain point is of growth. And at the end of the day, if you talk to these founders, they'll tell you that for growth, we have a plan that say we'll use referrals, we'll use we'll do social media and all of these, but these are not scalable way. The only scalable, and to run business you need scalable and predictable revenue. We saw that the only scalable way that these guys employed was for ads, and ads are super expensive unless you are funded like anything. So we wanted to position and bring out outbound as a way to get customers consistently in a scalable fashion. That was the idea. I hope I was not too elaborative on this. So that's how we got started. And we see there are a lot of problems, and that's what drives us. Although there are a lot of players, nobody is covering the actual problem. Everyone is just busy, looking left, right, straight, other products and just building it, what others are doing. And nobody is actually looking at problem. And that's where we come in and our future roadmap comes in.
Nice. It's good to hear that college friends have come together. You guys are the brain behind this baby right now, which is Zintlr. I think you guys are 1 year old in the market.
Correct. Zintlr is 1 year old, although the whole team is seasoned. So since last 3-4 years, we had been building team, bought the best ever folks for the Zintlr project, and that's how we came together.
Ujjwal, tell me more about your experience. I think we briefly had a quick chat, right? You were strongly working with the service industry. You bring in a lot of energy and experience with that industry. How did you catch up with Pranay? I think Pranay is from Bits Bilani, if I'm not wrong. He's a gold medalist. Uh, the folks from Bits Bilani, they always carry a large baggage of CTC, right? Did you pull him to Zintlr, or how did that handshake happen?
So Pranay was very passionate about building something for the people, something which really creates value. I mean, of course, he had some really high-paying job offers. While I can't disclose, it was in more than 7 figures USD and very very high package. He was among the brightest students there, had very comfortable life and offers of staying anywhere in the world. But he was very highly motivated that this is what I want to do, this is what I want to build. While on our services side, we had built a very stable business. While I told you we started from scratch, we we stably went on building bootstrapping. We took it to a level where we had a lot of enterprise customers, understood how to run business, did big projects. Each project check size was more than 100, 200K in size. So we did pretty big business and, got comfortable. I think after 6 months starting into business, moved to our first office and slowly started expanding. Pranay again, joined back and we have not looked back since then. Even Ravi had a very high pay job offer, but we never took it up. So we continued building the business and this is where we are now.
Nice.
So
You
maybe
mentioned that. Go on,
yeah.
Pranay. Sorry.
Yeah, so me, Ravi, and Ujjwal met during our JE days. Ujjwal and Ravi were friends since childhood, but then it's been like 6, 7, 8 years now since we've all been together and been working, seeing each other grow. Yeah. So
Nice.
during COVID, we came back together because so after JE days, all of us got split into different cities and all of that. But COVID probably got us back together, and then we had some time where we could make a difference with
Nice.
our. Yeah.
I mean, that's the way to go about it, right? Bringing all the greatest minds together and building a good company together. Rowing the boat will be much easier with brightest of the minds together. Ujjwal, this question is for you. You mentioned that you guys are bootstrapped. How was your
Yeah.
life, or how did you guys navigate through these COVID times? I'm sure it wouldn't have been that easy, right? And working on a bootstrap model is not that easy again. I mean, you need to have good MRRs. Your annual run rate also should look healthy. How did you guys manage those time? 2020, 2021, 2022. How are your days like? I mean, just give us a quick.
Perfect. Yeah, thanks for the question. So we are pure cockroach founders, if you call us in a way. So we can do anything. I mean, we have a motto that if someone could do it, we will do it. We will do it too. If they couldn't, then we will, and we will do anything but not give up. That's how even during COVID days, we while we started, we didn't have much to lose. And we always believed in doing very stable business. Some of us come from business backgrounds, even on family levels. And we believe that, say, I mean, the fundamentals of business always remain same. You have, say $100 coming in, you have $60 being spent, and you always have some surplus. And that's how you build business in a very stable way. Yes, COVID was tough, but we were always in the we have nothing to lose mode, and always in the mode of not giving up. Probably personally, we didn't take up a lot of salaries and all of those, but we made sure that we were motivating our team. We, in fact, doubled down on whatever pay scales were for some of our team members, and went a lot more positively about the solution, and took up very, very complicated projects that others believed that it could not be done. And this is where the places where there are niche, that's where I think you have more money. So we actually doubled or tripled our business during the times of COVID. Although the start was tough, we eventually I think made it. I know bootstrapping is tough, but if it was easy, everyone would have done it.
Nice. Uh, I want to speak to Ravi on the technology part. I mean, this question might have come to Ravi many a times. There are multiple products, Ravi, in the market. Be it Lushas of the world, Apollos. There's an Indian company called Cloudura based from Pune. Um aren't you bogged down with similar question? Why Zintlr, which has similar model, since you are the CTO of the company, working on the technology front, what are your key differentiators compared to these brands already which are there in the market?
Yeah, there are quite a lot of competitors in the space. The time when we started, there was very few competitors, like around 8 months back. At the moment, you can say there are 10 number of products in every single sector on G2. If you go to G2, any category you open, you'll easily find like 10 good products for any sector. But what I understand is making something what Apollo has right now is where we stand, but the journey from here would be quite exciting. The roadmap is very, very good. I talk to the product team on like every alternative day, and they are doing quite a lot of exciting thing. The most exciting thing that I had seen lately is the personality intel, which came out. It is super accurate, and the feedbacks being received from the users are amazing. I would definitely love to show that to people. So that is one area that is quite exciting, and there are lot more quite exciting stuffs. But I think let that be as a surprise for the users to have a look at.
Okay, personality trait
Yeah.
sounds interesting. Haven't heard in at least in the SaaS community in at least last over the years, at least for 1 year or 2 years, haven't heard anything of this format, personality trait. How would it work, Pranay, Ujjwal, if anyone could take it up?
Yeah, let me take this up. First, let's talk about the problem. Why, until now, every single tool that you mentioned has been approaching the entire sales with a one size fits all approach. I have an email, I'm emailing all the prospects, or probably I'm doing cold call, I'm cold calling all the prospects. Sales is an art, right? And growth is an art. You cannot have the same formula running on everyone and everywhere. I mean, as people, we are very different, right? And I mean, somewhere I read that sales was very similar to dating. And I mean, that's ultimately the people game. And essentially, you could be a person who could be a call person. Maybe you would prefer calls more than text. I would be a person who would prefer more text or email, right? different people have different preferences. Maybe you try to reach out to me on call to sell something, I might not take it, and you might dismiss in your CRM that call not taken or something. Whereas if you would have emailed me, maybe first email or third email or fifth email, there's a likelihood that I might have had responded. And maybe someone else would have been a call person and ignored emails. So that's where we had a clear problem that the personalization is not happening properly. Things are not being catered to properly. I mean, while I speak to people, some people are very data driven. If I talk to them about data, that hey, this is the statistics, this is the problem, and this is the solution, and this is the market size. Whereas some people take decisions very intuitively. Some people take decisions based on story. I tell them that, hey, say you are in this problem, and this is the problem, this is the solution in a story format that works for them, and they are highly likely to buy. And that's where we wanted to create the biggest disruption in the market. That is, kill the whole one size fits all narrative and personalize the entire sales outreach, because ultimately your decision maker on the other side, your prospect on the other side, is a human with emotion, right? You need to absolutely tap on the fact on what he wants. Probably you could be a person who would who would like to read a longer email with story, or probably who would love to have a small talk. And probably Pranay could be a person who's a very serious person, just wants the on the point message in one line and just move on, right? That's where we build the whole personality intel, which is going to give you a huge amount of intel just by looking at people's LinkedIn profile, soon coming in other social medias, hopefully. So, and this also primarily has even roots from the places. Say, I spoke to certain clients. If I told them $100, they were huge on negotiation. They clearly told me like $20 or $40, and then we closed deal at $60. Whereas there were some clients whom I told, say, $70, and they were extremely serious sort of people. They saw that okay, $70 is a valid amount. All right, yes, Ujjwal, we are in. So how would you differentiate between such customers? And to someone who's on the point, you need to tell the right price. To someone who would negotiate, you probably need to tell the higher price and come down, right? That's how your sales would work.
Yeah.
To add
So
up, I'll
that's
just yeah, sorry to
yeah.
cut. I've used this particular tool. It was in dev mode because I had access to the dev servers. So I tried this in couple of meetings, and it was like magic. Completely, I felt like I'm ahead of time. I have more intel compared to anyone else, and things were very smooth. I knew what the person wants to hear. So that was my experience with the tool.
So yeah, that's why we clearly came up with the tool which can upfront tell you before talking to a person whether this person will negotiate with you heavily or not, whether this person will take decisions fast or not, or they would go back, talk to others, and come back. So you can actually influence others as well, and hundreds of such parameters which can affect sales and get you better numbers. Yeah.
Basically, for a sales guy, he should be able to foresee the person's what do I say,
Behavior.
interest, right? Behavior and interest. Basis on that, he'll be able to gauge that personality well, and his pitch is going to be far better than other sales individuals, and he should be able to make that connect happen in the first meeting itself. That's what it does.
Yeah.
Correct.
I think anyone's attention span is very small. So
Yeah.
first 5 to 15 minutes is make or break, right? And also when you're probably closing bigger deals, uh, this meeting, the time of meeting also keeps getting shorter. You have to deliver what you want to in those 10 minutes of the meeting. And all of that, and it's a very big ticket size, right? So you will always do your background research, this and that. So that is where we want to come in. We want to make the biggest impact in those first 15 minutes so that a good rapport, a relationship is built, which will help you close a lot of deals.
I also noticed you guys were product hunt number one launch of the day. I think in June or July. Talk me
Correct.
more. I mean, I want to talk more on this. I mean, you guys are from service background. You guys are techies, hardcore. Who did the marketing for you guys? I mean, being number one
Yeah.
in product hunt is not that easy. How did you crack the code?
Thanks for the question, and this is something which we are really proud about. So we were new to Product Hunt, and we launched on the most competitive day. I mean, some products launched over $1 billion in funding, and not just number one product of the day, top product of the week, and among top product of the month. We got featured by the newsletter. So the story was simple. We had never done a launch. We wanted to just test how nicely we do it, and so we ourselves. So I became hunter for the product. Although we had good hunters, we thought let's go ahead, hunt it ourselves, and let's see how it goes. And we actually pulled all of this in less than 2 days of planning. I mean, a lot of people don't believe this, but we sort of, and on the day we launched, due to the huge competition, I mean, first 4 hours really help you. So we have a huge community. So our personal backgrounds are that all of us have built so many communities. We love to be in community to help people left, right, straight. So these communities actually came for our aid. In I think first 1 hour we had more than 250 upvotes. We were actually poised to be on number one. The moment the rankings went live after first 4 hours, we were on number one. But the number two, number three products were all highly funded. Some really big shots backing them. The top hunters of the product hunt were backing each of the products, and it was a very fierce competition. Product hunt takes up a lot of your social capital, but we are proud that we started as number one. Throughout the day, we kept getting really good votes, some really good reviews. A lot of businesses actually came out and supported us. We got fantastic feedbacks, met fantastic folks. In fact, even now I'm connected with most of these folks who I found from Product Hunt. Today morning, I met a couple of them. They
Nice.
came to Bangalore exclusively to meet me, and that's how we pulled it off. Probably we might do another launch in 10-15 days, and we are optimistic to become number one product of the month this time. Let's see.
Also, there was a very huge traffic on the servers. I had to face a good time looking at the server logs. Massive, like
Several
200
times.
plus companies got hit on the site in one go. I'm like, okay, it's a massive day.
You're
Need to
blessed.
digest this. Yeah.
Let's talk more about the ZScout, right? That was a sub tool within Zintlr that was launched. Take me
Correct.
through what is ZScout all about. I mean, when I go through your website, there are multiple offerings and layers within the product, right? Zintlr just it does not only get you email IDs or phone numbers or contact, or you can review a company. It does beyond that. Let's talk more on those lines as well. Help me understand more around Zscout.
Perfect. So while the core idea of Zintlr was that we track a lot of companies, we get their financials, technologies, decision makers, contact details, and all that, we were very sure that in a very short span of time, we cannot cover all the businesses on the planet. So we were very sure, all right, let's build something which is a second action in line that all of our customers get something out of it at least. And that's where we built ZScout that say someone is doing a normal Google search. So your Google search gets enriched in real time with our knowledge base about any search you make. One, two, you visit any website on the planet. If we are not able to find the intel about that website, maybe we'll find it later. That gets added to our database. Immediately, you find all the phone numbers, all the catch-all emails, all the mentioned emails about that uh, of that website in real time within our extension and in Zscout. So Zscout was actually meant to bring in data of that. We have actually now added more than 100 million websites there, and that's actually getting added in real time. And you don't just find emails, phone numbers of the company through Zscout. Of all the websites on the internet, you can also get like about the company, keywords used by them, the technologies that those companies use, the top decision makers or executives of those companies we have found. So Zscout was the tool that we had launched on Product Hunt as well, just to test the waters. And so Zscout is a better hunter or Tomba alternative, and we have some really exciting things coming there in the roadmap. You can build some really scalable pipelines there for your lead generation using Zscout, and that's a second in line tool after our lookup. And even that, the unlimited usage quota of that is actually live on the deal that we are live with at the moment.
Also,
Nice.
this so we had a couple of early users who had requested for this feature, and we came up with this feature in just 3 days. So we are all open to taking feedback, understanding what's the requirement of the market, and we are super fast because we have everything ready at the foundation. we can execute. Execution, we are the best at executing. So
Community, are you guys listening? Drop your comments for more requests. Uh, Also, help me understand, was this feature free of cost for users who are coming to your website, ZScout?
Yeah, so at this moment it is open, of course, for our users. It will be closed soon, and only people who have the deal will be able to access the unlimited quota of it. Although right now it's unlimited, you can even do a bulk upload and download if you sign up on the platform. So in one shot, you can get data of say hundreds of users. We actually got a lot of our MRR customers converting because they saw, they were using ZScout quite frequently, and they really had trusted the product, so they went on to buy our normal packages. So at this moment, it's open and free. Although soon might get closed. Let's see.
Okay. This question is for Pranay. Since you are the guy behind the product and you've been doing a little bit of marketing as well, how do you approach customer acquisition and retaining your early based customers? Because there are new products which will keep flying in the market, right? Today I'm more excited about Zintlr. Tomorrow there might be another product which might get me excited. Someone who is subscribed to a monthly subscription of product like yours, I might want to taste another product as well. How do you guys retain them? I mean, probably in case in future if I build something, that might be a tip for me.
So, like I had mentioned, the journey of Zscout itself. So, we build in public with our people, with our customers. Uh, so that's the whole idea of building what's actually value driven, what's actually adding value to our customers, right? But to elaborate more on this, I think Ujjwal can probably elaborate more on
Right.
how we are going about customer acquisition.
So we have a thought internally in the team: keep your friends close, keep your customers closer. So
No.
we consistently. I mean, if you look at, I always carry a few diaries along with me, in which I consistently keep writing everything that my customers say. I have like 5, 6 conversations every day. We believe in not building for customers, but building with customers. So just keep building what your people want and provide the right value. So understand the real problem rather than just seeing what competitors are doing. So understand the real problem, give the real value, keep customers happy, and they will never go away from you. And we always consistently incentivize our customers as well with different things. I mean, a couple of times we actually sent out cake to some of our customers' offices, and our customers really love us. So, I mean, you keep them closer and they never go away from you as long as you're adding the value. Simple.
I know that Zintlr is a platform predominantly for the sales folks. I mean, sales folks will love to get some data, do the right pitching, send them cold emailers, pick the phone and do the calls. I see big names in your website. Who are your some of your key customers? How did that happen?
Right. So essentially, a lot of customers we had even in our services segment were really excited about what we were building. We kept looking at what their feedbacks were, and then we kept consistently building for them, and that's how they got looped in. A lot of them started as a free user, saw a lot of value, and then came in. While these are just the start of it, a lot more really large enterprises are waiting to join us soon. But it's just word of mouth. So customers love us, they tell it to others, they tell it to others, and slowly we get inbound interest and we try to convert. And we use Zetler, our own tool, to do outbound sales. That also got us some really good customers.
Would you be a competition for LinkedIn in by any means or any chance probably in the future?
No plans at this moment. LinkedIn is a social media platform. Maybe you can use our tool as a complementary tool to LinkedIn. Someone is on LinkedIn, you find intel about them, and then you try to target them better. But we never know what is it in the future for us.
Uh, I know. I mean, since you guys were number one in product hunt, your MRRs are looking pretty. You guys are in the market for close to a year and plus your background with service industry. Have you guys been approached by any angel or any large VCs? I mean, looking at your
Not too
product, the
many.
kind of things that you guys have, how are the funding scenes right now?
Right. So one, I mean, globally, we think that there's a slowdown in the general funding scene, but we have been receiving huge inbound interest from investors as well. Lot of investors reach out, and we have been, talking to everyone. Coincidentally, investors give you best feature ideas because they talk to a lot of people from similar segments, and they give you so many ideas. Why don't you do like this? Why don't you do like this? But have been, getting some really good investor interests. Actually, some really high profile angels and HNIs from our industry are really interested to invest in us, and we are trying to bring in some of them. But at this moment, although we are bootstrapped, maybe in few months, if our customers want and if our team is looking for it, we might opt in. But we are getting very positive investor interest at this moment, despite the global slowdown in investments.
The best part about talking to investors who have been reaching out is they have been mentoring us for few areas where we need some understanding from them. So it's a lot of exposure that we get from them.
Nice. I'm sure you guys will have a lot of mentors to also tag along. Few key mentors
Yes.
to keep backing up you guys since you guys are young and doing well. Key direction is very important.
A lot of industry leaders are actually mentoring us as well. So some industry leaders of, say, from various sectors, primarily the C-suite executives of some, more than $10 billion businesses, some really established enterprises globally. Their C-suite executives or VPs are backing us. Soon we'll be making an announcement on, our whole advisory committee, but some really big wigs backing us across the industry.
And we've been getting a lot of feedback and guidance from them because they've been in the market, in the sales market, the marketing segment, and all of that for more than 30 plus years now. So they understand it very intricately, and then they know what the real pain points are, what is the code that actually will drive value. And like Ujjwal mentioned, we were getting a lot of inbound traffic from investors, but now we will be actively reaching out to them as well. So we are building the whole board. Yeah, that's the plan in the market.
Nice.
That's it.
I'm sure you guys might have seen a lot of success story, right, while building your product. However, nobody sees the failure story, right, or nobody talks about it. I want these pointers to come out from each of you guys. I'm sure there'll be ups and downs which you guys have faced while building Zintlr. I think this is for my viewers and the audience, whosoever is building a startup or who is passionate about building startup. What are the one thing he should be able to ready to face in the market, be it highs or lows? Over to Ujjwal, then Pranay and Ravi can take it up.
Perfect. So one thing that you're definitely going to face is intense competition, and if you're not PLG, people will take time to recognize the value. So say even while looking at our tool on the face value, people think that this is a very similar tool on what might have come before in the market. But if you actually use it for a long time and the new features that we are adding, you'll realize how efficiently it has been curated to solve the exact problem that has been intended for. The biggest challenge, I think, as a founder, I mean, everyone sees ups and lows. I had read this somewhere on Twitter that a founder has, three types of mood. So one third of the time they are feeling low, one third of the time they are feeling high that they are going to win the world. If you meet me on any Fridays or probably on a Monday, I'll be in the same mood that I have won the entire world. And one third of the time when you're just thinking what is going to happen, or there's a lot of mental fight that keeps going on. I think biggest challenge that founders face is I think everything is a challenge if you're starting from scratch, building the right team, getting the right form of growth traction, getting the right form of partners, getting the right form of idea, finding the right investors, arranging the right capital. There are just challenges all around, and I think the only thing that drives you positively is quality and consistency. So my suggestion to any founder is just look at quality and just be consistent. Show up every single day. Just look at improving just one small percentage, but every single day. I mean, I am in office for all days a week, to be honest, although people from our organization are just for 5 days. I'm here working for 18 hours a day. Your family life or your personal relationships take a backseat, and you need to be very very dedicated towards one thing. That's my take on it.
Would marriage change all about that? Adding or lapping a marriage on top of it would change everything.
Sometimes I'm contemplating not to marry at all. I'm so much in love with entrepreneurship and everything I'm doing. But let's see. I mean, let's see how that happens.
Okay, let me get Pranay's take on the same question. What's the
Yeah.
highs and what's the low?
Right. So in our case, we didn't have the capital, the funding as well because we were bootstrapped. So it's a little more difficult for a bootstrap the company, but you learn the biggest business lessons when you're bootstrapped, right? So we learned how to do business and all of that. We had more lows than highs, right? And those lows were the biggest teachers for us, right?
Nice.
So every single day is an incremental growth, and I think the team motivates you to get back up every single day. So if it was me alone, I would it would be much more tougher because I have my team around me, Ujjwal, Ravi, and all of these guys. So it helps in getting back up and then getting it to it. And I think consistency is very important. And when you believe in what you're doing, I think it's not work then. It's more of a I don't know what to term it, but
It's a fun project.
yeah,
Probably you're going back to the basics, back to the school, where you look forward going to meet your friends. You're gonna have a net practice or any sort of
Hmm.
fun games. That's the only reason we used to go to school, right? I was not going there for studies for sure.
Right,
Was the school activities whatever you used to have. I think that's the kick
yeah,
founders get when they go to office,
for
right?
sure.
True.
Well
Let me
put.
let me take it from Ravi as well. What's the
Uh,
kick?
as usual, and Pranay mentioned, that is always there. You will have to do job which one person cannot do. You might have to be at times technical person. Ujjwal was the first technical person in Zintlr. I guess people might not be knowing that. So he was doing the tech job, and then eventually I started looking into it, and eventually you see me turning into a product guy at times, turning into an investor guy at time. So it keeps happening. You'll have to be very versatile. You'll not have to think that this is my work. I'll just restrict myself to this one thing. Those will be your initial days. Later on, what will excite you is your customers, what you're building. Your customers will be telling you this is the feedback. You'll be sometimes excited, sometimes you might take that as a feedback and you might have to improve things. So it becomes a customer led journey and the product led journey after a point. The initial days might be very tough, where the person needs to be strong, their team needs to motivate them. And yeah, as you said, one third of the time you're sad, not one third, it's more than one third. It's like two-thirds of the times you'll be sad during initial days. Later on, that might slowly go down. So believe in yourself and keep going forward.
Nice. Good to hear from different perspective from each of the founders. It's not the same though. That's the great part. That's where I think you guys have different perception in building the product as well, right? Do you guys often fight like a
Not really.
cat and a dog? I mean, we should have this feature. The other guy will say, no, we should not have this feature. This is expensive to add on to this feature. How does those meetings go by? The boardroom meeting.
We just go to customer calls then and ask the customer what do you want. But we are very complementary, so our skills are very complementary to each other. And yes, we do have these discussions that this should go live first or this should go live first. And then if that becomes a deadlock, of course the team comes in. I mean, people we work with, our whole founding team is filled with lovely individuals. And eventually, we have some close customers. We probably call them up and take their take while all of us are on call, and that really helps bringing everyone on the same page. So, but I
Also,
mean, yeah.
yeah, just to add up
Fortunately, we
on
have
this,
never fought. Yeah.
Yeah, just to add up on this, there's always, one thing that comes up from the growth team. They say this is our GTM strategy. Now we are planning to onboard our, enterprises. So all the features which we have planned for enterprises customers are taken on priority. It's never about this feature goes first, this feature goes first. It's always about the GTM strategy which we follow and we align with it. Everything is in the roadmap, purely dependent on how the growth is being done.
Uh, that's a great take. Let me also talk about. I mean, I want to hear from you guys some case studies here. I mean, this tool will work great for sales folks, for marketeers, for agencies, be it creative or digital marketing agencies. I mean, the psychology bit which you told about, I couldn't find it on the website. Is it on the roadmap, which is going to be launched yet, or
It's been, yeah.
it's in the roadmap? If that happens, I was just, I mean, I was putting my thinking cap, and I could notice that this is also a good tool for HR folks, human resource, right? I want to gauge a certain personality, and because of that trait I would want to hire that person. Would that work in real time?
Right. Yeah, thanks for the question. So first, it's on the topmost priority in the roadmap. Might launch in less than next 7 to 10 days. It will be live for our users. At least for users in this community, it will be live. If not for all users who sign up and everyone who opts in. Yes, it has a huge. I mean, over Disk. It is built on frameworks like Disk, Ocean, and some other frameworks. And this has been prevalent for last 60, 70 years. And it was essentially built for the whole HR tech hiring domain, so that you know whether this person is decisive, they are risk tolerant or not, whether they would take decisions very fast, and things like these, whether they would have leadership skills very strongly, how would they react in crisis. All of these can be found out through our tool. It's ready. We just need to do some last changes and push it for our customers. It has a strong use cases there. It's actually having strong use case anywhere where between two people there could be any form of transaction, be it investor to portfolio companies, be it for hiring, be it for sales. We love salespeople. We want to help people grow, because that's where money comes in any business. So sales, we are building it for first, but yeah, maybe in future even these tools might come up and within the product, and we might give access to some of our early users as well.
So I'm a sales guy, been doing this for close to a decade now, and over a decade. If I log into Zintlr, what's the first thing I need to be doing? Or if you can take me through your basic walkthrough of what I should be doing as a sales guy, um, put it in a way that it is end to end. Okay, let's start from, probably, should I go search for a company? Should I go search for a key person? Then what's the next process like for me as an individual?
Perfect. So I think, I'm sure because you're in sales, you understand this one thing, that probably any sales process is approach the right person, give them the right offer at the right time. Get these three things right, and you are in, correct?
Yeah.
And this is where our whole tool is being built as an end-to-end solution. First, to approach the right person, what do? You have an ICP in mind that say, I want a company which is of this, say, which is of a workforce size of 1 to 10 to 100 to 250 employees in this range, who has a revenue of more than say 3 million annually, whose geography is based out of say a location like France or India or US or any of the countries, right? And so you come on the tool, you log in, you also install the extension, you go to lookup, and you start putting your ICP definition in the filters. You put the geography, you put the workforce size, and whatever. There are a lot of filters. You can even search by keywords. We are coming up with more filters like triggers. Say if any company got funded recently, that will show up. Any company underwent some hiring in a large way, that will come up, and so on. So you put those, you directly get list of all prospects. You can quickly add them to list, send it to your CRM, or you can send it to your email automation tool. Upon this, we are building something called as our own Z sequencer, wherein you will be able to personalize and send emails to everyone on large scale, and not just emails, even an automated message on LinkedIn and other social media platforms like an omni-channel suite. So you approach the right person using lookup. Then you give them the right offer using the personalization and the automation that we are building. And once your meeting is booked, we help you get the right intel to convert that booked meeting into a successful customers with a lot more precision using our psychology intel. So that's the whole end-to-end roadmap, and you can use extension in real time. I mean, the future of sales is social selling, right? Say you are right now on LinkedIn, you're playing around, you think that okay, this person is a good prospect. In the real time, you open our LinkedIn extension, you add that person to your list, and you move on. You again start playing, and once you've collected, you come back and you start doing campaigns of them. All of these are in less than 2 to 3 clicks. Soon we are planning to build this. I mean, in the roadmap, I cannot give the time, but we are planning to build the social selling tool for other platforms as well. Say I'm on Facebook, I want to sell something. I'm on Twitter and I want to sell something to someone. I can add them to list. I can get their intel in real time on the extension, and I can start selling right away.
So, Ujjwal, Ravi, this question is for both of you guys. AI is pretty big, right now in the market. I mean, everyone is talking about AI. How are you guys adapting AI within Zintlr? Um, what's the roadmap like? Or, I mean, I could definitely see an angle of AI doing it end to end for me, while uh, my initial bit will be just to ensure I mark the right guys, and then the AI takes over, having that conversation with all the folks basis on my style of conversation, the how I used to do sales pitch. Is that something possible within your platform, or
Very
is it
much.
already in your roadmap?
Yes, that's pretty much in our roadmap. In fact, most of our features that we are building, we want to build it in a way that it seems like magic to our customers. So that's upon psychology. Now you know that this person likes data-driven facts, this person wants small messages, this person prefers message. Upon those, we are building actions that, based on the personality preference of this person, based on your conversations with him, maybe as the CRM evolves, it will give you the accurate message just based on how you would have written, and done all of it in automation on a large scale. And if someone shows an interest after that, only then you've got to respond. So your actual effort becomes 1/10. Not just these, a lot of similar features built upon AI, not just around personality, even around whatever messages you write. Uh, it will authentically verify a lot of things. It has a lot of capabilities. I think if Pranay wants to add something there.
Yeah, I think that's for sure in the roadmap, and that's something we should be doing because the world of AI is advancing so fast.
Evolving.
We should always be on top of it, right? Otherwise, last 7 8 months we've seen the growth at which the AI has performed, and we've been at the top of it, and whole of our team also leverages AI in every single segment, be it product management, be it customer support, everywhere. So we see a lot of use cases every single place, and the biggest use case that we see on our product itself that we already integrated into the psychological intel as well. So no other product can do this because no other product tracks someone's psychological patterns and all of that, right? So just like Ujjwal mentioned, if a person is data driven, if they like stories, or if a person likes more relationship building, or if a person likes more logical based reasoning, and if I know how Suhas actually is in his real life, so we can imitate all of that and create an icebreaker kind of a message if it's a discovery stage. So we have all of these in our psychological intel where directly at the moment where of course you have to do a click where you can probably do a drop down and select I'm at the negotiation stage at the moment, what should I do with this prospect. Also, so as Suhas, you also have a personality type, right? And your prospect also has a personality type. So we do the compatibility of that personality type as well on how compatible you are with this prospect. So, for example, if you have a big sales team, and maybe let's take an example of sales member, like sales members, the second sales member of your team is more compatible with the current prospect that you're
Mhm.
going to go meet. So if there's more compatibility, you can send him, and you can probably go into those meetings where you are more compatible with your prospects, right? So all of those are data AI driven, and a lot of fine tuning has been done, and we've trained on a lot and lots of data. So that's where we currently hold. That's where the whole AI is being leveraged currently in our platform. Like which was mentioned, it will be out in a week for everyone. Currently, it's in beta, and we are getting extremely good feedback on from our beta users. We've given it to a very selected few people. So that's what we have at the moment, and it's already integrated into the product. What we are coming up with, the actions and all of that. Um, it's a wide open space. I
I could
mean,
probably add up one more area which Pranay had missed out. We also predict emails. If in case
Wow.
we find that email is bouncing, we have our internal verifiers which says whether every unlock that you do should be verified. We don't give emails of whatever we have in a database. It's real time being verified, and then we give it to you. If in case we verify, if we get to know that this particular email is unverified, we on the fly we predict that particular email, some patterns are generated, we verify the email and we give it out. So that is something which we have been doing for the quality of data. And apart from that, few areas that I could mention that AI could take up for us is the financial intel and the buyer intent, because every company might not be that capable of buying a tool. Maybe I'm reaching out to a company with a 10K size monthly tool. They might not be able to pay it. So how do I project their financials if in case I'm not aware of it? So one is that bit, and the second bit I think Pranay covered is lead routing, where we route the lead to the right salespeople, and we could also say, okay, in the previous month this sales guy did this particular actions and he was able to generate X amount of revenue for the company. This month with this set of actions, he'll be doing Y set of revenue generation. So you get the predictability in your company. That is where we stand. Predictable revenue should be flowing in through the sales process.
That's crazy. That's gonna
I'm
make.
dropping this very small, yeah, a
Yeah,
very
go
small
on.
surprise. I'll not talk much about it. In few months, we might come up with something that, based on actions of your prospect and how they are engaging with your competitors in different ways, will actually be able to tell you that these people are in buying journey with your competitors, so you can buy it. That's something that we are keeping it very secret, but probably in few months that might go out, which might lead some
Drop the
disruption.
beans. You
That's
can
an
spell
AI
the
pitch
beans. No
plugin.
problem. We're
rest
gonna
assured.
do another webinar with all of you guys. I know that this was not a walkthrough of the product, because I think we would need a good 1.5 hour, because you guys have built a product which has so many features. 30 minutes will not do justification. I think we should take time. Me being in the sales field will also help. I would also want to prospect some of my clients, uh, probably sniff what they are up to. Uh, I think there'll be a better showcase of the product demo instead of giving it such a little time, because the amount of I mean, in-depth product that you guys have built. I think there is no other product right now in the market which has all these features built in all together. So you guys will directly clash with Apollo, Lucia, Cloudera, LeadRocks, HeyReach. I mean, all these tools are built into one tool. Will I be right in that sense?
Yes, maybe, and more. I mean,
And
and some more. Yes.
that's crazy. That sounds crazy. Okay, in one word, we want to. I want to wrap up this lovely webinar. I think there's more to talk. Uh, there's enough. There's enough from you guys, which I want to extract. I'm sure that you're not spelling the beans today, but we should definitely catch up for another session where we do a good product walkthrough plus other beans that you guys have in the pipeline. Since I'm a sales guy, I will always use the word pipeline. I do not use the word roadmap.
Perfect.
Yeah. Uh, Last not but not the least, just give me in 2 words, why should people pick up Zintlr, and if they miss this exclusive round of uh, offer that you guys have brought in, what's going to happen, and how long are you guys planning to uh, offer this to the community?
So the campaign remains live just for 15 days, 15 to 20 days. Let's see. Limited number of licenses.
Okay.
Two words to describe is never returns. So we are very sure that the deal might not return. So never returns is the two word. So the deal might not come back, as then a lot of enterprises will get exposed. But we have got a lot from the community, especially the SMB community, the whole feedbacks and everything that we have got. And we want to do something with them, build something for them, because we have been there. We are part of the crowd. And
Yeah.
this whole, this whole campaign is for our people and our, for our community.
Perfect. Thanks a lot, guys, for your time. Lovely catching up. I know you guys are busy, and it was my pleasure hosting you guys. I think there's a lot of exchange of thoughts, ideas, on the product, and much more beyond the product around SaaS startups. I'd love to hang out with you guys whenever possible. I think we should catch up once more, and that will be a quick wrap. Uh, Thanks everyone who has joined us online. Stay tuned for more such live sessions. Don't forget to subscribe to Zintlr's giveaway, which is on their website. Only exclusive to first 400 users. And after that, the giveaway is going to get wrapped up, and probably you'll announce it by end of the campaign. How does that go, Ujjwal?
Yeah, maybe somewhere midway we could. Let's see. But I think midway through the campaign we might announce the results.
Okay, and what are you going to offer to the community members? Anything exclusive? Probably in
Yes.
the next
So
webinar.
yeah, probably in the next webinar, but people will be getting in our licenses. So we are doing giveaways of few licenses of mid-tier and tier 1, and we are giving exclusive 10% off coupons and 20% off coupons for some of the top users who will be selected in both the ways: the number of points that they get plus the random selection. So we want to give away max to the community.
Also, I
Nice.
think
Maybe
there's
someone
a
will be next on with you.
lot of people could be also be getting early access to the exciting tools which Ujjwal was mentioning, the beta access.
Wow. That's something that usually doesn't happen all the time. I mean, psychographics, uh, my mind is still boggling around it. That's the one of the features I'm really excited to talk about. Probably in the next webinar, we would want to deep dive into it. All right, folks. That's a good night wrap. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.
Thank you so much,
Thanks,
Suraj.
Suhas.
Yep.
Happy weekend, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Yep.
Bye.